I'm Marwa, and this is Between Ceasefire and Accord, a look at where the next year in the Middle East might lead. The hostages are out, a ceasefire is holding, and for the first time in almost a year, Gaza is quiet. But this isn't peace, it's a pause. And the question now is what happens after this pause. After Monday's final hostage release, Hamas has lost nearly all of its leverage. Its tunnels are destroyed, its leaders are in hiding, and its governance of Gaza is collapsing. Egypt, Qatar, and the United States are now backing a transition plan to replace Hamas rule with a temporary administration, likely involving the Palestinian Authority and Arab League oversight. Sources in Cairo say the framework includes demilitarization, joint policing, and international reconstruction funding. Qatar will mediate the political track, Egypt will manage the border and security control. Inside Gaza, small protests against Hamas have already begun. For the first time, Palestinians there are calling openly for Hamas to step down and for the Palestinian Authority to return. That shift, if it holds, could redefine Palestinian politics after nearly 2 decades of division between Hamas in Gaza and Fatah in the West Bank. But Hamas isn't gone yet. It still controls armed cells, underground networks, and loyalties among displaced communities. It may try to survive politically without governing under guarantees from Qatar or Turkey. In Israel, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu faces an equally unstable future. He's under pressure from all sides, from Washington to push forward the peace framework, from his far-right coalition partners, Itamar Ben-Gvir and Bezalel Smotrich, who oppose any Palestinian administration, and from his own corruption trial, which is moving into its final testimony phase. Analysts in Jerusalem say Netanyahu could survive only if the ceasefire brings clear security gains or new diplomatic victories. But if hardliners pull out of his government, early elections could come by mid-2026. In the coming months, Netanyahu's balancing act will define Israel's direction, either toward a negotiated transition in Gaza or back to military confrontation if Hamas resists handover. Regionally, attention now shifts to the Gulf. The United States is reviving Abraham Accords 2.0, aiming to link Israel's ceasefire to Saudi normalization. Riyadh's message is firm: no recognition of Israel without a credible path to a Palestinian state. That demand has US backing and quiet support from the UAE and Egypt. US President Donald Trump is expected in Israel next week, hoping to reassert his role in the regional peace process. His visit could accelerate talks between Israel, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE, especially if Gaza remains stable. If progress is made, observers expect a Riyadh declaration by late 2025, outlining normalization, investment, and a regional economic corridor connecting the Gulf to the Mediterranean. But all of this depends on one thing: whether the ceasefire holds and Gaza transitions without collapse. If Hamas cooperates and reconstruction begins under the Palestinian Authority, the next 12 months could bring the full reopening of Gaza crossings under joint security control, a multi-billion-dollar reconstruction plan led by the World Bank and Gulf donors, and a regional summit, possibly hosted by Jordan, to relaunch the statehood process by early 2026. If the deal breaks down, though, Israel could see renewed conflict, and Netanyahu's coalition may not survive the year. So where things go from here depends on 3 questions. Will Hamas step aside peacefully? Can Netanyahu keep his government together? And will Saudi Arabia trade normalization for real progress on Palestine? If the answers align, the Middle East could enter its most stable phase in decades. If not, the ceasefire will be just another intermission in an endless war. The next 12 months will decide whether this ceasefire becomes the foundation of a new order, or just another chapter in a cycle the region knows too well. Until then, may wisdom guide the powerful and peace return to the weary. Allah Hafiz.